Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Eye on Board Game Geek. Doug Herring on YouTube, bringing you our next episode. I think it's going to be episode 6 or something, maybe 7, I don't know. Got a look of our playthrough of Super Dungeon Explorer using the Forgotten King expansion in arcade mode. Now what does that mean for those of you just tuning in? Arcade mode is the mode that you can play that does not require a player to be the bad guy. Now in this game the console is there's basically, you can have multiple players. I think it's up to 6 if I recall, but 5 of those would be character players, and one of them would be what they call the console, and the console is the game itself. So, but in this case, we're playing against the game itself, and there is no console, and we get to use these cards to help dictate what happens in the game. Now, that said, we're deep in it, and we've been playing a few rounds already, so I do want to make some quick corrections, and then we'll continue on. Okay, you can see that green marker on this Grobbit Executioner. What that is a poison marker, and last time I was playing, I said poison actually impedes movement, but it doesn't. It impedes actions. So with a poison marker, it's going to reduce your actions by 1, not your movement. So this Grobbit Executioner would actually be 2 movements farther, which would actually allow, I think these guys were able to move 1 more if I counted right. So they look like that right now. That was one correction. The other one has to do with this big guy Trent. Now, if you look at his card, it says there's a couple things going on. The Overgrowth, Wave 3. Basically, that signature move, as I understand it now, even though the rules don't, I guess they kind of state it this way, I'm not sure. Whenever he attacks, he's going to get that plus the attack. So he's going to do 1 Overgrowth Wave 3 hit, which a wave means it's spreading out in a circle or squares around the character, and then it can grant poison, like it has actually. The Thunderveil Huntress has a poison marker on it, which reduces the Thunderveil Huntress's actions by 1 until she spends some time trying to remove that poison marker. He's also got this ability to decay. Models wounded by decay must discard 1 piece of equipment. But that is a special, that is his big special move, so he hasn't done that yet. Anyway, those were the 2 corrections that I had. I just want to make sure the note of that. I'm not going to change the damage because there was plenty of damage done during that turn by the big boss, who has 2 points of damage on him. And we're going to go to the turns of our Thunderveil Huntress and our Questing Knight. And I think we're going to start with our Thunderveil Huntress. She's going to get going first with her mighty bent nail, which she's going to attempt to help bring down the infamous mini-boss Trent the Treant, and we're going to get started with that right away. So I think that I'm not going to use her trample ability in this case. I think we're going to use Lightning Charge. It does have a range of 2, and it does push, and that push part isn't really that important to me in this, but what is the extra strength dice. I want to make sure we do damage. So Lightning Charge, again, it's a melee attack, has a +1 strength die. So when we're rolling to attack, so she's not moving, by the way. She's got 8 movements. Now remember, they can move at any time during their action phase, but she's not going to. She's going to stay put where she is. She's actually blocking Trent from getting out of there because they're both large base creatures, and Trent doesn't have a real way to move around her because right on the other side is a structure, and on this side is a structure as well, and they can't move through that. So I can show you that on screen too if you like. It says structure, it says models cannot draw a line of sight across or move through structures. So that's the scenario with them. Okay, now Thunderveil Huntress, let's look at her dice. When she's going to take 2 actions, so she's only going to get the 1 hit this turn. She's going to get 2 blue strength dice, 1 red strength dice from her base strength, plus 1 blue die from the bent nail, and 1 red die from her Lightning Charge. and that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to look up push because I want to see if push is going to have any effect on a creature like this when their back is against a wall, which is the case with Trent. So he's actually right here. I got to push him up a little bit. They're actually like that. His back's against the wall, so we got to see what's going to impact him there before I roll some dice. Sadly, I was hoping that the push would do some damage to Trent, but it doesn't. It just stops him from moving back any further, so he's actually not going to go anywhere. But hopefully we'll at least get to do some damage. That would be awfully nice. So we are going to attempt to do that. And let's see. Yeah, we're going. So again, we need 3 blue dice total and 1 red die on this attack, and hopefully we will succeed and do another point of damage to Trent. Now this is the only action that the Thunderveil Huntress is going to get to do, which is kind of a shame. But here's our dice bowl. Let's see what we get. So that's interesting because the potion isn't going to help much. She's already got a potion. She can only have 1 currently. So let's look at Trent's armor. Trent's armor value is 3, so she rolled a 4, as you can see, which means she did hit Trent for another point of damage. So we're going to take that point, and we're going to go bloop and put it. That's 3 of 8, I believe. So we're whittling down the massive boss monster Trent, and the bent nail also puts a status effect on the enemy it damages. That status effect is a hex, I believe. Let me check it out just to be sure. Yes, a hex. A model suffering hex discards the highest result rolled anytime it makes an offensive roll. So that's going to make Trent's attacks harder. That's a good thing for us. So let me find the hex tokens. Here they are. This is a hex. We're going to put it here on Trent's base, or if we can. We really are having a struggle with that. Anyway, it's not on our Thunderveil Huntress. It is on Trent's. We're going to make sure it's on. Oh, this is silly. Hold on, guys. There we go. There's okay, so you can see a problem with trying to keep track of things in this game, which is one of my fundamental issues with it, because Trent has this and also has this slow status on him. So we got to keep track of that for when he is attacking, or this ice. It's a cold status, ice status, which models sufferers may not use unique actions. So that is going to be helpful because he won't be able to use his unique, which is the decay ability, I believe. Anyway, that is it for our Thunderveil Huntress. So let's continue on. I take it back, guys. Who am I kidding? We're not quite done with this yet. We have to first move a Wrath token. I think I'm going to take one from the Royal Warden, put it on the Thunderveil Huntress, because that was for doing. Oh, actually, she didn't kill it, so that doesn't do that. But I do believe we're going to move. Let's go. I think we're going to move her, actually. I originally said I wanted to keep him pinned there, but the Thunderveil Huntress is not in the best shape, and we can get Trent to chase the Thunderveil Huntress. Trent he has a move of 6, and he's going to go after the most threatening of the characters, which is actually our Royal Warden. But our Royal Warden has taken no damage, and neither has Princess Emerald, so they can take it. So we're going to move a little bit. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Right back to here. Boom. And she's going to stay there. Now, why is she doing that? I want to get the poison status effect on her, and if need be, she can head into them and trample if our questing knight has some trouble, which we're about to find out because we're about to do his turn. So let's go on to that and see if we can get some damage done and maybe do some killing with the Thunderveil, with our questing knight. Now the questing knight is in a bit of a pickle because he's backed up with all these creatures surrounding him. Now he does. We are definitely going to make an attempt on the Grobbit Executioner because he has the ability to do something with massive damage. It's going to take all of his attacks, so hopefully he hits this time. Last time he failed, but it'll do 2 points, which will kill this little Billman, and then do another point of damage to the Executioner, which will not be enough to kill it, but it'll do a couple points of damage. Or maybe better yet, we do that against one of the Frog Knights and get rid of it completely. And then block, yeah, I think that's a better deal, because then we'll block the other Grobbit Executioner from getting through there. the Frog Knight will die with 2 points. So we're going to do that. He's right here. He's going to turn and face one of the Frog Knights and attack it with his massive sword. It's a melee attack with only one range, which is perfect. It takes 3 actions, but he's going to get a +1 blue strength die. So for his total dice, you can see he's going to have +1. I wish he had a potion, actually. That'd be awesome. +1 strength blue die from his steel sword, so it's 2 blue dice, and +1 from and then +2 red dice from his strength. So that's going to be 2 blue and 2 red dice. Okay, guys, here we go with we got his dice pool here. Let's just double check. Got 2 for his base strength. We got 1 for his steel sword and 1 for his mighty sword ability. Now, if I recall, the last time we took a turn with him, he missed. So let's hope that this time he does not miss. And we succeeded. We got there's 4 right there and 5. So we needed a total of 2. So he succeeded at hitting the Frog Knight with 2 points of damage. A Frog Knight, as you can see, takes exactly 2 points of damage and has an armor of 2. So he killed one of the Frog Knights with his attack. That is going to require that we move one of the tokens, the Wrath tokens, so because they're all out. So we're going to move one from our Royal Warden over to our Questing Knight, making him the most dangerous character on the board. And then we're going to get to draw a loot card, which is going to go into the backpack. And we drew a fizzy beverage, giving another. Of course, we're pulling all these blue cards, and everybody's already got them. I mean, I might give this to the Royal Warden to give him a bonus on his actions. We'll see. We'll see. Keep in mind that our knight is slowed, so while he can move, he might actually move a little bit, but then the big boss is going to attack him, so I don't know if he's going to do that or not. And we're blocking this Grobbit from coming through. Well, what we could do is, now he can only move 3. He might as well. He's going to go 1, 2. Yeah, 3 right there. Okay, just to back him up and actually draw this guy this way, which will be rather interesting. So I don't think he can get by. Actually, he's not. I don't know if he can get by here. I got to check that. Okay, so that is going to be the end of the player's turns, unfortunately. Now, we're going to go to the power-up phase, and I do believe that the Royal Warden, instead of having the itty-bitty wings, which gives him +2 movement, he's going to replace that with the fizzy beverage. So I'm going to take the itty-bitty wings off him and put the fizzy beverage in place, which will give him a extra action. And I like that a lot better because that would allow him to use his crossbow. His crossbow only takes 1 action. He can shoot that then 4 times. That's pretty good. 4 points of damage potential that he could do in 1 turn. Anyway, that's going to end our player's phase. So, okay, now we got some big bad monster action to go. So first thing we do is we check to see what monsters are disturbed on the board. All the monsters on these 2 tiles are currently here, and they all would have been disturbed anyway. How disturbing works is all the monsters on the existing tile of the players are disturbed, and any monsters in a tile adjacent to a tile with an open doorway are disturbed. So these ones were 2, and that's these guys right here. They've come running up to do battle with our heroes. Now, after we determine who's disturbed, which is everybody here, we determine order of action. So we're going to have our big boss first, followed by our 3 elites, the Frog Knight and the 2 Grobbit Executioners, and then followed by their respective minions. So now that we know that, we're going to draw our card from the deck of cards for this and see what we get. I haven't seen this one before. Turbo move ×2. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So they're not actually going to attack this turn. That is really interesting. I don't know how that affects us. But it will so you know what's going to happen is they're going to surround the Questing Knight again because they can. So let's start with our mini-boss. I don't think, I got to look again at, I know that, so these guys block movement. Models block movement. He's a big base movement guy. So he's going to go 1, 2, and that's as far as he's going to be able to go. Well, I guess he could go diagonally here, couldn't he? Go 1 right to there. That's actually going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got double movement, so he could definitely, I think he could do that. I'm looking at, well, there's 3 squares there. I don't know that he can. I think you might have to stop right here. There's only 3 squares there. he take the big double base thing, just like when we had to pass through this with the double base guy. Yeah, I mean, I think he can get to here, but then he's stuck. So I think I'm calling that. That's what it is. And then we got these guys. These guys are only single base, so he's going to be able to move up to here. Oops. Stand up our questing knight here. And then we're going to move the Grobet Executioner. He can, of course, move up to here, which, let me squeeze this over, which will allow him to do. They got double moves, so I'm not even really counting. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to move right to here. This guy's just going to follow along next to him, stay with him right here. And then these guys are going to go they're going to be able to move all the way up. They got like 10 movements, so we're going to put them right behind their respective guy there. And interestingly enough, that is the end of our actions phase, or the end of our turn. I'm debating, do I continue on and do another round and do an action round with our other two characters? And by the way, guys, as always, this game is prone to mistakes when you're trying to play solo, so if you see something, do by all means let me know. Okay, so that ended our turbo move. We're going to pop that back in there. And then I think we'll continue on. We got some great ability to seriously damage the villain this turn with because we're going to be doing our Emerald Princess and Royal Warden. So, and I think I want to go over and pick up this Princess coin that was underneath that was at the spawn point that was destroyed. That was at the time was stood upon by Trent. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's do that. So we're going to take the turn of, I think we'll start with our Royal Warden. Okay, so we got our Royal Warden. He has a current move of 6 because he traded out his little itty bitty wings with a fizzy beverage to give him an extra action. I think he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to move to here. And I think we have to use a scavenge action if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up. That's a basic action. I want to see how many, yeah, I think it's 0. So a hero can pick up an item that can be scavenged, such as Skull Token, Princess Coin, or Dungeon Key. Okay, so I think we're going to do that. So for a 0 cost action, he's going to pick up the Princess Token, which we put in our backpack there. And then he is going to spend 4 actions, all 4 of his actions, shooting at Trent. Now, he might actually we'll take one of his actions, but is bound by law to immobilize Trent. Now, Trent's armor is 3, and the Royal Warden's strength is 3 blue dice. So he would have to overcome that to root. Basically, it immobilizes Trent, and he won't be able to move. I don't know if that matters or not. I don't know if I want to waste a point of attack doing that. But you know what he can do, which is rather interesting, is do a pull. His tax collector, which is 2, it does plus. It's got a range. No, it's a sword. Sorry, his arrest warrant, which has a range of 6, does +1 red dex dice and pulls 6, so you can pull him back to him. Does that matter? I don't know. It costs 2, or he could do 4 points of damage and nearly kill him, which means that the Emerald Princess could potentially kill him if the Royal Warden can hit all 4 times. I think that's a better way to go. So Royal Warden, 4 actions. He's going to do 4 crossbow attacks. Now he's got a range of 6, so he's well within range. He's got +1 blue die dex for the crossbow attack, so you can see +1 dex from his deadly dirk, and +2 blue dice for his dexterity. So 4 blue dice on this attack. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think if all we have to do is get a 3 stars or better to hit him. So let's take a chance and get it done. Okay, 4 blue dice. Here we go. Kapow! He got it to 4, and he got a heart, so he gets to pop a damage off somebody. I think we're going to take it off of our questing knight has 2 points of damage. We're going to take a damage point off of him because he's surrounded and he's going to get attacked. But we did hit Trent, which means we did another point of damage to Trent. That is now a total of 4 points. So we're 4 points away from killing Trent, and our questing knight has 3 additional attacks. So let's keep going. A 3. That I think I got to remember if he needs to overcome it or get it exactly. I got to take a look at that. Okay, so guys, that second attack rather did miss. you have to roll more stars than the creature's armor. So Trent's armor is a 3, and we rolled 3, so that is a miss. You got to roll 4. But let's keep going to our next attacks. We missed on that one, and whoa, 5. So we got 5 points there. So we hit on the third, so we did 2 hits total on Trent out of the 4 attacks that he had. And that is basically going to end his actions. Now we're going to move on to, of course, we're not killing him, so we're not getting any loot from this or anything yet. But we're going to move on to Princess Emerald, who's got basically, she's got 2, she can do 2 of her stinging shot attacks, and that's what we're going to do. I do think we're going to move, though. I think we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I want to get it, actually, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. We're going to have to go right here. I'm trying to get him out of the range. I guess it doesn't matter. She's not going to be able to get out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 4, 5, 6. That's still within range. She might as well stay where she's at. Okay, let's see if we can get her attacks going. I was trying to get her out of the range of his wave effect, but they can't. They're in that cramped space. They're not going to be able to get out of the way. So, what do we have here? We got her stinging shot costs 2. She's got extra actions. She's got a total of 4 actions. She can do stinging shot twice and stack up cold effects on him, which keeps him from using his unique. We could use the scope ability as well first, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I just want to try and damage him as much as I can. So we're going to get 2 more attacks. She's not going to be able to kill him. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll be 1 point away, which kind of sucks. But let's look at her attack. So what does she get with her stinging shot? So she's got, this is a dex roll, so it's 2 blue dice, 1 red dice. She gets 1 more red die for her stinging shot, so she's going to have 2 blue and 2 red dice. So we're going to get that set up and make some attack rolls and hope she gets lucky. Okay, here's her. She's got plenty of range. She's right next to him. So anyway, let's roll some dice. We got this going on. Let's see if we can get some luck here. 3, 4, 5, 6. That is good. So we did hit Trent again. So we're going to put another damage marker on Trent and a second cold marker on Trent. And then for her second shot, she's going to shoot again. And a 3. So she missed. He's got 6 points. He still needs 2 points of damage to be killed. That's kind of rough. Anyway, I think I'm going to take all these tokens. You guys know that he's got 2, 4, 6 points of damage on him. I'm going to put these on his card so it's easier to play on the board. Anyway, that is going to end the player's actions. So first thing we do then is check to see which are disturbed, and they're of course all disturbed. Then we check to see priority of actions. So it's going to be Trent, followed by these 3 elites here, then those minions. So let's draw our card and see what happens. Okay, so here's our deck. Let's see what we get. Recover. Oh, this can't be good. Recover. Remedy. Remove all status effects and mend. Remove 1 wound token. Okay, we're going to do that. But interestingly, they didn't move or attack. So all of these awesome status effects on Trent go away. That kind of sucks. And I'm going to remove a wound token from him. So he's only got 5 wounds instead of 6 now. And we're going to remove the 1 wound token on this Grobbit Executioner over here. He had 1 wound on him. So that he is now fully healed. Not liking that, not one bit. Thanks very much. Anyway, that basically is it, because there's nothing else going on. We didn't draw any loot, so we didn't have anything in the power-up phase for the heroes last turn. I mean, we have some stuff in our bag, but nobody wants to put it on because they're all going to take up a slot that they already have something in that's necessary. So that is going to end our session for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing. My subscriber base continues to grow up, and I love you guys for it. I think once we finish this tile, or we finish this mini boss battle, I think we're going to end it there, and I think that's going to be good because I have 3 other tiles to get through, and that could take us years upon years. And I got some cool stuff. I mean, I got some things I really want to play for you guys and get on the table and show you how it works. One of them being the new Dungeons and Dragons board game that from the series Temple of Elemental Evil to get to the table. I'd like to do that. And I also got Super Fantasy Ugly Snout and the expansion too, so I want to get that out there. I mean, just so many different things. So anyway, we're going to try and wrap this one up because I think this has given you a great idea of how this game plays, especially with all the bumps and bruises along the way, which is always my main goal. I mean, I like doing the playthroughs, and if they're full playthroughs that make sense, I love doing them. But ultimately, my goal is just to show you the game. So since I have it, I'd like to show it to you, and we've done that successfully here, I believe. But it would be nice for you to see what happens when we actually pop that big bad guy and get stuff for that, and then we would be moving on to the next tile. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good night.